So you'll see up on my screen, this is the Ready Nevada County dashboard, and the tab that I have active is the Wildfire and Evacuation Incident Dashboard. This is the most important tab right now since we have an active incident going on. As you can see, centered in this tab is a map of Nevada County depicting the area of Grass Valley and Nevada City, and just to the northwest of that. Indicated in the middle of these colored shapes, you'll see here is our fire perimeter. It's outlined in dark red with black slashes across it. That is the most up-to-date intelligence that we have as far as where the fire is currently at. Around that, you'll notice these immediate areas in pink. These are what we call our immediate evacuation order zones. If you've been monitoring this dashboard and you've been keeping up, you will have noticed that these zones have grown in size over the last 48 hours. As the fire has grown and the threat has gotten bigger, we've increased those mandatory evacuation order areas. Both to the north and to the southwest, you'll see the yellow shaded areas. Those are our evacuation warning areas. Those are the areas that we have put out code red notifications warning people of the potential of an evacuation. And then in the very southern edge here, you'll see that this is a green zone. Up until last night, that zone was also under an evacuation warning. However, in consultation with the fire department and law, they decided that it was safe to go ahead and lift that warning and to go ahead and allow people who had voluntarily chosen to leave that area to go ahead and come back into that area. So that area is no longer in a warning or order area. We've had some questions about being able to see and identify roads. I want to bring to everybody's attention that there is the ability to zoom. In the bottom right corner of the map, there's a plus and a minus. You can use that to zoom, or you can take your mouse and you can double click on the screen and it'll zoom into an area and it'll bring in those roads into more detail so that you can see those roads. You can zoom in and you can tell if an actual road is under an evacuation order or possibly in a warning area. For those folks that want to quickly be able to locate their address, in the upper right-hand corner of the map is several icons. The one on the left is a search bar. If you type in an address, like the Root Center here in Nevada City, it'll center the map over the Root Center and it'll highlight it in a teal color. So it'll bring you exactly to that location that you're looking for, which will help you identify whether or not your residence or a family member or a friend is within any of these evacuation zones, be it an order zone or a warning zone. On the left-hand side of the dashboard is a pane that has these different metrics. We tell you how many evacuation orders are currently out there, how many warnings, if there's any shelter-in-place orders, or how many evacuated shelters there are. At the bottom of that, there are a couple of arrows. If you click on one of those arrows, it'll take you to more metrics about the fire. As Chief Estes talked about, right now, the fire is at approximately 675 acres with a 5% containment. You'll notice that that containment changed. Yesterday, it was approximated at 20% containment, but because of a little bit of fire growth, that containment went down to 5%. This is not uncommon, and you'll see data like this change. It doesn't mean that the data is wrong. It just means that things are dynamic and they're constantly changing. So again, this is a good place to come to see what those changes are and how they might affect you. There's a legend immediately to the right of those metrics that explains what some of these icons are on the map. We have listed on there our animal shelters, which right now we have our animal shelter at the fairgrounds in Nevada County in Grass Valley. It'll also show you the location of the temporary evacuation points that we've set up. Right now we have 3 of those. And it'll indicate that fire perimeter that I talked about. I also want to draw your attention to the right side of this map. This is where you can find our OES Twitter feed. And it'll also give you information about code red alerts. If you want to see the text of a code red alert, you can pull up the 5 most recent code reds that went out. It gives you the option to listen to the audio message that accompanied that code red. You can also view the text of it by clicking view email message. Or if you want to see the actual area for which this code red went out, you can click on view the map and it'll pull that up. And as you can see on my screen, it's a mirror image of the evacuation warning that we put out late yesterday for that area just north of your county government center. We also have Nixle alerts on here for Truckee if we had an incident up in the Truckee area. But again, our Twitter feed is on here, and we Typically, we will share Twitter feeds from sources such as CAL FIRE and the Sheriff's Office, OES. It's a great source of information up to date as far as what's going on, as fast as we can push that to you.